Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The movie begins in the quaint town of Sugar Mountain. Liam West is in a heated confrontation with his brother, followed by a sudden collapse. We see Liam aboard a ship at sea, first as a passenger, then as its determined captain. Returning home with his belongings, he finds his brother Miles and friend Joe throwing a wild party in his house. Amidst the chaos, everyone eagerly greets Liam. The next morning, Liam channels his frustrations by chopping wood, only to be approached by Miles, who seeks a serious conversation. Their interaction is interrupted by the arrival of Lauren, who flings her underpants onto a tree branch, causing laughter among the group. Soon, the trio embarks on a road trip, eventually arriving at a seaside location, where they encounter a foreclosure notice. Panicked, Liam rushes to his boat, but authorities are quick to remove it from the water. Furious at the impending loss of the boat, which held sentimental value, as it had belonged to their mother for 25 years, Liam lashes out at his brother, knowing that time was running out to save it. Later at night, Liam meets Jim, a police officer, at a bar, where they share drinks and have a conversation. Later, Miles joins them, and the brothers engage in a heartfelt discussion. The next day, Liam and Miles are shown ascending Sugar Mountain together. During their climb, Miles confides in Liam about his lack of seriousness regarding his relationship with Lauren. Liam is visibly troubled when he learns that Lauren desires children, a prospect that doesn't align with his own feelings. The next day, Lauren's mother provides her with some money, and her father arrives, suggesting she stay at his place or with Miles. Meanwhile, Liam spends his time watching mountain climbing videos, lost in thought. One restless night, Liam is kept awake by the sounds of passion coming from Miles and Lauren's room. Throughout these events, poignant flashbacks reveal that Liam has harbored feelings for Lauren since childhood, despite her closer relationship with Miles. The next day, Miles reveals to Liam his plans to sell the story he's been contemplating. Seeking a distraction, Liam heads to a shop in Miller Landing, where he meets Angie. Their interaction leads to a meeting with Angie's brother, Josh, who inquires about Miles. Liam ends up purchasing a hunting knife for Miles. However, Angie reminds him of an old loan, prompting Liam to quickly retrieve the knife and head out. Later in the evening, at a restaurant, his friend Joe arrives and confronts Miles, leading to a heated argument outside. Witnessing the tense encounter, Miles appears troubled, as he turns to Lauren for solace. This act ignites Liam's fury, leading to a heated confrontation between the two brothers. Liam, in a fit of anger, declares that Miles is unworthy of Lauren's love. The next day, Liam is consumed with jealousy, as he witnesses Miles and Lauren sharing a kiss. Tensions escalate as the trio sets off for a hike up the mountain. On the rocky terrain, emotions boil over, and Liam and Miles end up in a physical altercation, resulting in Liam's nose bleeding. Despite the heated exchange, the brothers ultimately embrace their bond, momentarily overpowering their conflict. They part ways, each nursing their wounds. Alone and troubled, Liam seeks solace in the car, and eventually finds himself at Angie's place. His distressed state catches her attention, as she tends to his injuries. Meanwhile, news spreads like wildfire through the city about Miles' disappearance. Police officer Jim, aware of the recent altercation between the brothers, questions Liam. Lauren, trying to evade the media frenzy, makes her way to the mountain in her car. Seeking comfort, she finds Liam, and embraces him tightly. As they later retreat to the beach, she drops a bombshell: her father Jim is cheating on her mother. The revelation leaves Liam reeling, and he begins to suspect Josh, the shop owner from whom he bought the knife for Miles. When Jim probes Liam about the knife, tensions rise further. Lauren, unaware of the knife's significance, becomes enraged with Liam and storms off. As the search for Miles intensifies, the night brings unexpected developments. Lauren, now changed into fresh clothes, reveals herself to Liam. Their reunion is interrupted by Angie's arrival, and the three find themselves in a car together. In a moment of vulnerability and passion, Liam and Angie share a heated encounter inside the car. However, their intimacy is short-lived, as the truth begins to unravel. Jim confronts Liam with questions that lead to a shocking revelation: Miles had been involved in gambling, accumulating a significant debt. He suspects that Miles may have disappeared to escape his financial troubles. While Lauren defends Miles' character, Liam is left grappling with the newfound knowledge. Feeling betrayed and confused, Liam confronts Lauren, demanding answers. It is then that the pieces of the puzzle begin to fall into place. The entire disappearance was a meticulously planned ruse concocted by Miles and Lauren. The next day, the police make a grim discovery when they find Lauren's mother injured. Liam rushes to the hospital to visit her, where she reveals to the gathered crowd she had made a promise to Liam's mother to look after both Liam and Miles. This led her to venture out alone in search of Miles, resulting in her accident. In the evening, Deputy Dolan takes Liam to the police station, where Jim begins reading Liam's diary. The contents of the diary raise suspicion, and Liam finds himself behind bars, accused of Miles' murder. The media frenzy intensifies, with questions swirling about whether Liam and Lauren have been involved in an affair. Overwhelmed by the scrutiny, Lauren breaks down in tears, broadcast to the entire city. Watching the events unfold on TV, Joe, consumed by anger, is locked up in the same cell as Liam by Dolan. The next day, in a fit of rage, Joe unleashes his fury on Liam, resulting in the violent encounter captured on CCTV. Dolan, seemingly indifferent, allows the assault to continue, until intervening at last. At night, Joe confides in Liam, who reveals the depth of his pain of losing both the boat and his brother. The next day, Dolan releases Joe from jail, and the weight of his emotions is palpable. Meanwhile, the city gathers in mourning at the church for Miles. Even Josh, deeply affected by the loss, breaks down in tears. After the somber ceremony, Joe seeks solace with Lauren, joining her in her car. As the news reports continue, Jim becomes increasingly concerned for Miles' safety, realizing that 10 days have passed since his disappearance. Moved by Liam's evident despair, Dolan ultimately decides to release him from jail, the cloud of suspicion still looming over his head. The next day, Liam and Lauren set out to search for Miles on Sugar Mountain. Concerned for their safety, Jim notifies Dolan to check the south side of the mountain. During their journey, they encounter a bear, and bravely intervene, before continuing on to Miles' supposed location. Upon arrival, their hopes are dashed as Miles is nowhere to be found, leaving them both devastated. And Liam finds his way to Lauren's room. There, Lauren opens up about Joe's presence, sharing that he has been staying with her and carrying her bag. In a moment of vulnerability, she leans in to kiss him, but he initially pulls away. However, unable to resist their mutual attraction, he soon returns the kiss, leading to an intimate encounter between them. Their private moment is interrupted by the sudden arrival of Officer Jim, who delivers shocking news: Miles is still alive. However, upon seeing his daughter in a state of undress, Jim's anger flares, prompting him to order them to cover up, before storming out. At the hospital, Jim takes Miles' statement, while Lauren and Liam also arrive to offer support. Despite the initial tension, Jim begins to understand Lauren's side of the story. Later, the trio gathers in Miles' hospital room, where they watch a recording of his time on Sugar Mountain. The footage provides a glimpse into how Miles spent his days, shedding light on his mysterious disappearance. The next day, Lauren seeks out Jim, finding him drinking. Liam is reading the news in the hospital, when suddenly Lauren's mother appears, and slaps him in a fit of anger. Lauren rushes in, trying to defuse the situation. Together, they enter Miles' room, where he confesses that he can no longer continue their charade. He reveals that the mother confronted him, leading to his decision to end the deception. Enraged by Miles' apparent cowardice, Liam lashes out, reminding him of the painful experience of their mother's death. Liam berates Miles for not being there during their mother's final moments, accusing him of being spineless, for avoiding his own mother. Their argument is interrupted by a nurse, who Liam also confronts in his heightened state of emotion. Lauren steps in, leading him away from the escalating situation. The next day, Lauren takes note of something she hears on the radio, prompting Liam to approach her. Meanwhile, Jim visits Miles in the hospital, engaging in a private conversation, before leaving a newspaper with him. Meanwhile, Liam secretly plans to sell the footage of Miles, but his intentions are interrupted when he spots a taxi approaching his house. To his surprise, Miles steps out of the taxi, having returned from the hospital. At night, the trio share a dinner together. As Liam and Lauren discuss their next steps, Miles interrupts, bluntly asking if they had slept together. Hurt and frustrated, Lauren apologizes, but Miles reveals it was all part of her plan. Feeling betrayed, Liam storms off, his anger evident. The next day, however, Liam seeks Miles out and apologizes, their bond strained but still intact. Liam is visibly distraught by the turn of events. Desiring closure, he approaches Lauren, and expresses his desire to put an end to the turmoil between them. She agrees, both of them yearn for a fresh start. Meanwhile, Jim, grappling with his own demons, turns to alcohol, and ultimately decides to confront Belly. The next day, Joe meets up with Liam, and demands money in exchange for not releasing a damaging story. Tensions rise as a fight breaks out between the four of them. Joe escalates the situation by pulling a knife on Liam, demanding payment. In a sudden turn of events, Lauren intervenes and hands over the money to Joe. But just as things seem to settle down, Miles strikes Joe from behind with a rod, inadvertently causing his death. It's revealed that Liam had actually asked Joe to meet them there, and the three of them hurriedly place Joe's body in a car to dispose it of. Meanwhile, Jim begins to follow their trail. As they make their escape, their car gets a flat tire, and a cat-and-mouse chase ensues between them and Jim. They finally stop at a secluded spot, where Jim confronts them at gunpoint. He uncovers evidence linking the group to a previous crime, and just as he is about to make the arrest, Lauren intervenes, pleading for mercy. However, Jim gets attacked from behind. A brutal struggle ensues, with Jim overpowering the others. He raises a sword to strike Miles, but before he can deliver the fatal blow, Lauren fires a shot, fatally wounding Jim. Devastated by the violence and loss, Lauren breaks down in tears, as the police arrive to take away Jim's body. Miles provides his statement to the authorities, while Lauren rides off in the police car with Dolan, a sense of relief mixed with sorrow washing over her. In the aftermath, Miles urges Liam to come forward and give his statement to the police, bringing closure to the harrowing ordeal. The events of the fateful day left a lasting impact on all involved, a stark reminder of the consequences of greed and deception. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.